to me, you must understand that business is tough, right? There's no glamour in business. You can try to glamorize the business, probably helps in the marketing, but in reality, bila kita run business, there's no glamour in running the business. It is a very tough path. So ni bukan nak dishearten, tetapi you must, bila you nak mula, give your whole heart lah. Jangan takut fail, because failure, everybody knows failure is part of the learning process and all that kan. Senang cakap, but bila kita jalan tu, bila kita fail, wah, dia punya mental punya pressure tu really lah macam, right? So I think number one, kalau kita betul-betul nak buat business, you must really be tunnel vision lah. I think it helps to have a tunnel vision. That's why aku nak buat, okay, buat aja. Jadi macam orang cakap, istilahnya sondol lah. Depan kalau ada tembok besar pun, cari jalan macam mana nak pecahkan tembok tu, ataupun climb the tembok tu, ataupun kalau tepi boleh jalan tepi ke tidak. So you always find ways. You don't see macam depan ada barrier means okay, aku dah tak boleh jalan lagi, ada cik.
Welcome to another episode of A Tale of Two Cities. So this episode is sponsored by Katira Awesome. So Katira Awesome have the most authentic Katira. They also have the coffee flavoured Katira. Okay, so give them a try. Follow them on IG at Katira Awesome, or just drop them a WhatsApp at 88776651. Okay, and we are here with Cikgu.
Okay, actually kan, today is not a tale of two cities tau.
Itulah kan. I just realised that we have another guest.
We have another city.
Who is also another city. So Nyawi nak kena panggil tale of three cities.
Three cities Okay, who do we have here? Okay, let's introduce.
Yes, okay, we have here Abang Osman. Thank you for being with us. Abang Osman is the pengasas of MyLustre Private Limited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, and then he has here with him his wife, his lovely wife.
Beautiful wife.
Yes, who's also Siti lah. Siti apa tadi? Siti Zuraida.
Siti Zuraida. Wow,
nice name.
mashallah. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, I've heard so much about you, Cik Osman. Mashallah.
Yeah.
And I was expecting a much older guy. You know,
but
I mean, given his credentials, given his kirakan latar belakang macam dia punya success stories and all that, I rasa orang ni lebih tua kot. Sekarang tengok, muda lah.
In fact, the line of products that he's in, I mean, it's more
itu
of
yang
like
buat
health
dia
supplements
muda
and all that. Yeah,
tu.
betul.
Itu dia.
Yeah, so you would have thought that for the years of experience you have with all your supplements and all that, I also thought initially that it would be like maybe a older pakcik ke. Sorry.
You're not alone. I think.
Tapi no, man.
Yeah, you're not alone. When we were in podcast mula-mula kan, some listeners dengar, so we thought that Abang Osman maybe a sleazy kind of pakcik. So we would, but I think I'm just young at heart je lah.
Yeah, and he's also very active. I know you're a very avid cyclist, betul?
Yeah.
You have your own
You can tell from his
very fit.
very fit. Very fit.
I think it's very important to keep your fitness. Sebab we want to live as healthy, I mean umur panjang, and healthy juga. So kita nak juga bila kita pergi mana-mana, kita masih boleh duduk, bangun, menyangkung dengan mudah. Because that kind of mobility is very important.
Correct.
Betul.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
Betul.
But how do you even get started in this line? I mean, have you always had this interest like, okay, I want to do health products, macam I want to keep healthy? Is it something from young that you grew up with?
Okay, not specifically because I want to be in the health punya industry or what. But daripada sekolah, I just love to study biology. So I just want to understand how our body works, kan. And then from there I teruskan sampai ke university and I go into cell molecular biology because interest is there lah. Then after that dah graduate, then I happen to join the pharma. Itu pun macam cari kerja. Then dapat kerja pharma, you know. So in pharmaceutical. So 10 years in the pharmaceutical that taught me a lot lah, kan.
10 years in the pharmaceutical.
Yeah. So I dulu macam the literally what zaman P. Ramlee cakap jual ubat kan.
Jual ubat.
So I memang jual ubat. Seriously.
Okay.
So I will bring that briefcase full of drugs, you know.
Oh wow.
Legal drugs. Simple lah kan.
Ini
I will knock at the doctor's punya room, dia punya door every day. So every day jumpa doktor, berbual dengan doktor pasal ubat aja.
Wow, you jumpa doktor pasal ubat?
Yes.
Oh, how's that, man? I mean, usually
That's interesting.
doktor yang akan,
Itulah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Doktor yang akan promotekan kita ubat.
Yeah, so that's how I get my experience and understanding about the medical science. Although we are not doctors, tapi we work closely dengan doctors and we are trained on the products that we are supposed to jual lah. So it's very technical. It's very technical sales.
Okay.
And the background helps to understand the pharmacology, ubat-ubat punya tu kan. And then bila for 10 years berbual dengan doktor becomes your friend. And they also share, okay, kalau penyakit diabetes dia macam ini. So we also learn ubat apa untuk diabetes, control dia macam mana.
I see.
So the medical punya thinking semua we get used to it lah.
Right.
So it's like happen by chance, and then jump into business, and then usually you will do what you already know.
Yes,
kan?
correct.
So it happens to be in this line lah.
Wow, but I
okay.
mean, usually kan kita dengar of such products, a lot of people are a bit skeptical. Nak cuba ni takut nanti side effects this and that. But I think for your products kan, customers can be rest assured lah, because you've done you're trained in that field also.
insyaAllah.
You mentioned tadi you belajar apa cells and there was one word you used just now.
Cell molecular biology.
Yes.
So itu kan, I think it carries a lot of weight. Carries a lot of weight. So kalau kita nak cuba produk tu, kita cakap ini bukan calang-calang orang buat tau.
Betul.
Okay, kalau doktor, then doctor are not allowed to do commercial lah in that sense kan. That's where you have an advantage over doctors.
Yes,
Betul tak?
Kan? So that's why I have to go to sell health supplement dengan functional foods because I don't have a pharmacy punya license. So I cannot do pharmaceutical punya sales lah. So pharmaceutical dia mesti ada through doctors medical channel lah.
Okay.
And that one is really highly regulated.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can go into the health supplement and functional foods where the background science I'm very familiar with it.
Yes.
So we understand dia pharmacology, dia absorption, dia bioavailability. Semua itulah. So kind of easy.
Kalau cikgu dengar Abang Osman nak explain certain things, bila I dengar sampai macam I get lost.
It was like, wow. Tapi what make you get started in it? Is it dari kecil suka main doktor-doktor ke atau dissect
I mean budak kecil
animals
dulu
ke?
semua memang suka main doktor-doktor.
Kan?
But when it started when I go to secondary school lah. Then secondary school nanti they introduce the science, right? So I've always been the
Scientific
science punya student.
Okay.
So dari primary school memang suka science, general science. So bila masuk secondary, then you got the physics, chemistry and biology. So I gravitate more towards biology because I nak understand badan manusia ni macam mana. I want to understand siapa kita. So it started from there lah.
I see.
I think jarang I dengar orang Melayu Islam kita lah in this field. I think you're one of the very few that I...
Tak ramai. In the pharmaceutical industry pun Melayu tak ramai.
Betul.
Tak ramai.
And because you're talking about local in Singapore especially. Kalau Malaysia
local.
memang I think there's quite a bit.
Yes.
Malaysia quite a lot.
But Singapore tak berapa banyak. And Abang Osman has managed to penetrate Malaysia as well.
Wow.
So,
Masya Allah.
Masya
Allah.
Very interesting.
Okay, that's a bit of, how should I say, interesting because Malaysia, as we know, mereka ada banyak ubat-ubat macam ini. How? What made you want to penetrate that? Wouldn't it be like very tough? Because they already have the market down there.
Okay, Malaysia market is interesting. Okay, number one, the market size is very big lah.
Of course, yes.
So when the market size is big, the pie is big. You can have quite a good, even a small piece of the pie is still
very
big.
good enough.
It's
Yes,
much bigger
correct.
than Singapore kan. And the beauty about the Malaysian punya industry, I can talk to this by whole day, man. It's like you have the manufacturers, even the ingredient punya manufacturers because we're not talking about the product je tau. We're talking about the base ingredients sekali, right? The industry down there is much bigger, right? So you can also get involved in research down there. So much easier daripada Singapore. Singapore is the market so small, the industry is very small.
Very small, yes.
You want to indulge in research also, you have to like kenal specific punya companies or people, and it's very costly, right? So in Malaysia, I think kita tahu there's so many brands in Malaysia, and I just want to touch a bit about the Malaysia punya industry is that the manufacturer dia ramai, brand owners ramai, tapi tak banyak brand owners yang faham apa diorang jual. They are mainly traders. Right? So I just get a manufacturer, I nak ubat macam ini, ataupun I nak krim macam inilah. Krim yang boleh lambatkan tua, putihkan. You boleh buat tak? Boleh, kita boleh buat, but they don't understand.
They don't understand what goes into it.
Exactly. So just depend on the the manufacturer punya recommendation.
Right.
And that's where we get some problems with adulteration.
Okay.
So bila orang tak faham kan, dia ramai order daripada the manufacturer, dan manufacturer nak dia dapat the customer, and then people always want to buy something yang works fast.
Yeah.
Apply, dia terus jadi Snow White kan. Satu minggu nak jadi
Especially
Snow
in this
White.
day and age.
I like that, jadi Snow White.
Nobody wants to wait.
So what happens about Malaysia, and it's not just in Malaysia, in so many third world countries juga manufacturing, diorang akan adulterate dengan ingredients yang ban, contraband semua. Like for example whitening kan, mercury. Kita pernah dengarkan mercury very common, right?
I've heard of some products from Indonesia pun ada yang ada mercury.
This game has been played dah lama, and the mercury usually the China punya chemical company supply, right? And mercury has been used as a whitening agent since 5,000 years ago in China. The first digunakan, right? But of course it's toxic lah to the body.
Correct, betul.
So ini yang masalahnya, where you have the traders just get manufacture product for me, tapi dia tak faham, dia tak hantar test lagi, and pergi tempat the market, it works very well.
Right.
Tapi kemudiannya baru orang tu dia taruh inilah. So that's why kulit aku terbakar, kulit aku macam-macam.
I see.
So then I find that the Malaysian market is very interesting in that. So
I see.
when we go in there, kita lebih fahamkan. So insyaAllah what we want to do is kita nak bersihkan nama lah in this industry. Kalau tidak, there's a lot of
because
things
there are honest people out there. Ada ramai kan honest business people.
So ini nak kena, that means the knowledge mesti ada.
Right.
So that's important for consumers lah.
I see. But is it like these manufacturing companies just put this product without knowing?
No, sometimes they purposely buat.
They purposely buat?
Yeah.
So that means it's up to the
sekali
owners.
kena kecam buat Malaysia cakap macam ni. So this is open industry.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is lah. I'm glad you're open about such things because consumers need to know. Ada kali kan customers dia suka buat perbandingan tau. Saya pakai produk ni cepat saya nampak result.
Betul.
Produk awak kenapa kurang? So orang tak faham what goes inside this. Kadang-kadang what works very fast tak semestinya yang terbaik kan.
Betul. Correct.
Especially if they have other bahan terlarang.
True.
So that means it's up to the owners of the individual owners to understand what is the product that they're marketing.
Exactly.
Right?
And kalau tak understand pun, at least in MyLustre apa kita buat, kita dah buat kita punya produk, right? Manufacturing cakap, okay, yes, I tak gunakan ini, tak gunakan itu. Bila produk tu dah siap, kita still take random sample, kita sendiri hantar ke lab. To retest, make sure dia cakap tak.
Jadi bukan kata
third party,
kita je lah,
third party to test, and we used to spend like at the peak because when a lot of products come in, so kita every batch kita akan ambil randomnya test.
Okay.
We spend up to $8,000 to $10,000 Singapore a month to do testing, make sure everything is okay.
Wow.
Testing saja.
Right.
So we make sure that kita really put in that effort. Jadi consumer makan tak ada macam fikiran ni ada racun ke, bahan terlarang ke. Right?
We have a duty to God lah.
Exactly.
Kita ada tanggungjawab bila kita menjaga sesuatu ni, kita tanggungjawab kita pada Allah, bukan saja pada manusia, pada Allah yang kita kena jawab.
Exactly.
Dah berapa lama Cik Osman your products have been?
We started in 2005. Under the company name Organic Health lah.
Organic Health.
Organic Health. Tapi kita punya first product was Lustre Skin Pro Tablet, Lustre. And then we started a new company called MyLustre in 2011.
Okay.
And then we transfer the business from Organic Health to MyLustre. And then Organic Health kita cuba nak buat organic at one time lah. Kita nak cuba jual organic products.
Okay.
And our shop, we open a retail shop tempat sini, tempat 666 North Bridge Road. Just tempat tepi jalan sini.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For about 2 years. But then I think the timing wasn't right.
Okay.
That time, that was in 2010, 2012.
Okay.
During that time, the organic food kan baru nak masuk into
Baru
Asia.
nak sekarang everything
yes.
organic
Betul.
Yeah.
So the problem is that the market size is small and nak sustain very difficult.
Okay.
And organic food that time harga dia mahal sangat.
Mahal.
Yes.
You have to pay like
Anything
40-50%
organic
more.
mahal.
Correct. So it was really a tough business. Probably that's where we learn. Okay, you come in too early, where the market is not ready yet.
Yeah.
You are too advanced.
I don't know.
Too
Maybe.
advanced for the time.
So that's how it goes. So sampai sekarang, alhamdulillah, the business is coming to 19 years.
Masya
Inshallah.
Allah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dah
alhamdulillah.
almost 2 decades.
Wow.
Ya, alhamdulillah.
What have I been missing when I've not been trying? Sesudah ni Cik Osman, you must recommend me. Kita dah masuk series 60 sen, you mesti nak tahu how to maintain. It's precious. But speaking of that, right, patutlah isteri Cik Osman ni anggun saja.
Betul.
Okay, Puan Zuraida, saya nak tanyalah for all the time Cik Osman buat business, were you ever the scapegoat? Like macam I try kat you dulu, tengok okey ke tak? Ada tak?
Guinea pig.
Ada, tapi I'm very lucky because I have 4 sister-in-laws. Okay.
Oh, that's good. So you can spread them out.
Yeah, so he will give some to dia punya adik-beradik, kakak dia to try.
Oh, terima kasih.
Some to me.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
I'm not the only scapegoat lah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So he's blessed with a lot of females in his family.
The females in the family, alhamdulillah.
Even anak pun 2 daughters.
Two daughters.
Nice.
Is that one of the motivating factors that you want to kirakan delve into this business? Pasal you dibesarkan dengan females, ramai adik-beradik perempuan.
Not really, because our business is not specific beauty, right? Cuma bila kita in the business of wellness, beauty usually comes together lah kan,
yes,
at the business sense lah kan. So, like I say, I go into the health punya business because of my background. And because of pharmaceutical background, so understanding that there's an extension. And talking about whether my wife is always a scapegoat for product kan, usually I will be the first one to test the product.
Macam
Ke supplement banyak kan.
Macam my husband. My
Oh,
husband
yes,
loves traditional punya perubatan. Dia akan cuba pada badan dia dulu.
Yeah.
Dia rasa okey, baru dia kasih
Yeah.
kita semua.
Yes.
I should get my husband to meet you because he's into perubatan also, traditional perubatan.
Yeah.
But because the family pun ada banyak kirakan turun menurun punya resepi untuk macam-macam jenis kesihatan.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
wait.
so kita segue sikit.
Kita kat mana ni? Kita
Betul.
mesti bagi tahu ni.
Sebab sekarang makanan dah sampai.
Itulah.
Yeah,
Wish.
dah buat lapar pula. Okay, so we have a full spread here. Pasal kita kat rumah makan Minang.
Rumah makan
Rumah
Minang,
makan
one of my
Minang.
favorite tempat. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
and
authentic Minang food.
Betul.
I love it. And
So-
tapi kat sini kan kena datang awal lah.
Oh, yalah,
Lambat
betul.
je habis semua lauk.
Betul.
Very fast.
Correct.
Snapped up.
So they have kindly set aside some dishes for us. Sebab sekarang kita pun start petang sikit ni. Jadi sebenarnya
time ni.
Ini tea time tapi kita dapat lunch.
Tapi kita dapat
makan pun.
Yeah.
Okay, just nice. So Minang, for those who are watching this and you may not be aware, Minang, restaurant Minang is at Busra Street,
Kandahar Street.
Kandahar Street. Okay,
Betul.
see, I'm always confused because the road
Betul.
shows
Di sebelah-sebelah je.
sebelah-sebelah.
Betul.
Busra Kandahar. Oh
Yeah,
ya, bila parking kita tengok Kandahar.
Betul. It's flanked by Kandahar
Street.
and Busra.
And they've been around for so many years, so many years, and their food is really awesome. You've got
Yes.
to arrive early in order to get the best, all the best dishes.
Yes.
So kita sambil makan,
Betul.
let's tuck in.
Boleh, yes. So kita santai-santai je lah. Boleh makan
santai.
sekali. Yeah.
So I'm still not done with the scapegoat yet. It's a happy scapegoat because why? Semua, you are rest assured that yang bikin barang ni bukan calang-calang orang yang ada kirakan certification. He's certified to do it. So that's the assurance juga. Thank you, dear. Yeah, can. Oh, tahu telur. This is their signature. I brought some Malaysian friends here and they were so impressed with the tahu telur. So unique. They said it's so unique. Okay, come, mari. Wah, ni tak boleh jadi waitress lah ni.
Apa dia?
Jatuh ke barang?
Nasib baik tu dia I wear something dark because bila makan takut je terpecik.
Kan?
Tak glamour langsung. Yeah. So Abang Osman, in your schedule, I think you must have been really busy. You have, here you have to be here, you have to be in Malaysia, oversee your operations. How do you manage your time? Macam soalan cepu mas
macam
Pasal time management ni.
I think I'm the wrong person to ask about time management. Because I think my wife is there, I'm not going to lie. About time balance, I must credit my wife because she's always there for the family. That's number one. You know?
I suppose that helps to keep you...
Yeah.
You boleh fokus kat business.
Yeah. So that's why they say behind a
successful man.
Successful man kan, there's always a strong woman. So that's always there lah kan. That one I gotta admit. And because when you talk about time, my time is like always occupied with the business lah. You know?
So having said that, how often do you have to travel? Like every month, like maybe 2 weeks you'll be away ke? Macam mana?
Now, not so much as last time. When we first started to set up tempat Malaysia kan, my travels will be like 1 week in Singapore, 1 week in Malaysia.
Okay.
So I'll be away from my family like between 90 to 100 days a year.
Wow.
And so it's about one third
That's
or
about
almost
one-third
half.
of the year?
One third of the year I'll be away.
Wow.
And a lot of sacrifices. There's
definitely.
That's why I got to thank my wife a lot because she hold the fort, you know, and then raised the 2 daughters. So my daughter pun dah biasa juga bila bapa dia travel kan. Dah biasa dah. So ayah dah pergi dah biasa dah.
Faham.
Definitely there's sacrifices that we have to take lah. It's not an easy journey definitely. You know.
I can imagine.
But initially Kak, when he said that he wants to do this business, because it's a business, it's not what we would call like something stable, ada CPF lah.
Some women
you know?
are so worried, right?
Betul.
They would want their husbands to have a pekerjaan, a job, right?
Yeah, so interesting juga.
How do you?
How do you initially take to that news, and was it something macam you memang dah nampak, see it coming, and you expect it already, and what do you feel then?
Actually, before he became a businessman, he was into photography.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he was doing the selling of drugs, good products. After that, he tried with his friends. 3 of you, right?
Yeah.
3 of them. And then at the same time, kira tak ada macam stable job, right? So he did photography over the weekend. Wedding photography, commercial. So actually my husband ni banyak talent lah.
Masya Allah.
Now we know.
I
see. Okay.
Yeah, his photography skills is. I'm not complimenting because of my husband, but it's very good. It's very, very good.
Wow. Oh, nice. Okay. I can hear the pride in it.
Susah lah orang nak cari makan macam gini. Semua you pakai liau. Ini boleh buat, itu boleh buat. Wah, susah ni macam.
No, the story was like when I was in a farmer, and then I macam dah penat nak kerja dengan orang. Then we started the first business with 2 other ex-colleague in pharma. So kita start the pharmaceutical distribution. The company was called Pharmacy and Medicals lah. And it was a really tough business, and that was the first time I baru belajar business kan. So the income wasn't there. I was really earning at a very base income. So that's why I had to supplement dengan weekend warrior, you know, ambil gambar orang kahwin dulu kan.
Right.
But also because prior to that, I memang suka photography lah. So I self-taught photography, and then I dive deep.
Okay.
When
Also a diver?
I'm a instructor. Yes. I was a scuba diving instructor under Navi.
Okay.
So I mengajar scuba diving for a short while lah, because and there was another business I share dengan one friend of mine, a Chinese guy, and dia buat full time, I part-time je lah, you know. And susah lah, but that business susah, so I didn't continue with the business. The thing is that bila I pick up something, I will dive deep into that something.
Right. Okay.
Until I really macam almost master it. So that you never know this kind of skill you will need until the future. Right? Cuma satu je, I tak belajar masak, I tak suka masak. So kalau masak lagi bagus.
Pasal dia tak belajar masak lah, saya masih boleh pertahankan my business. Kalau dia dah masak, macam mana I nak buat
Itulah kan
business
semua
ni?
pakai liau
I think my wife will love it kalau I belajar masak dia. So
Right.
very good.
Maybe you should challenge him to learn.
Masak
Yeah.
Maggi boleh lah, Maggi.
Maggi and telur lah, right? I think tu
Telur.
pretty standard.
Yeah.
What you mentioned just now is not just about beauty products. What's your range of products for MyLustre?
Basically we have health supplements, health supplement, functional foods dengan very basic beauty products. But dulu under Organic Health, right? 2005 to 2010, our brand MyLustre, we used to have a range of cosmetic and skincare. From cleanser, toners,
you have that?
supplements, yeah, and then creams, UV cream, night cream, day cream, serum, kita ada semua. Until the financial crisis came, right? That was in about 2009, 10. Then we used to have 3 retail stores dulu, right? So because of financial crisis, a lot of companies were affected. A lot of companies went
Oh
bankrupt.
yes.
Yeah.
And we had to close down one by one kita punya shop kan. And then kita reorganize and then operate as lean as possible sampai sekarang lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
we don't macam go into retail anymore, because as it is right now, so the retail punya space,
Everything is online.
everything is online.
Betul.
And like in Malaysia kan,
e-commerce, yeah.
the brick and mortar punya retail kan suffering a lot.
Oh, even in
Really
Malaysia.
a lot. Yeah.
I see. Because I think it moves with the current times now. A lot of people just prefer to buy
Yep,
online.
yep.
Yeah. Was there at any point in time you rasa macam alamak susah lah buat business ni? Macam rasa macam nak give up
Macam
gitu.
nak give up, eh?
Because
Frankly, many times
many times.
yeah.
I would be lying.
Uh-uh.
The challenges as an entrepreneur is very real lah kan.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Yeah, and kita manusia biasa. I mean, kita bukan cakap Superman. Oh, aku terror, aku no lebih dik lah. Kita pun manusia.
I understand.
We have our ups and we have our down time. So really when we were down kan, we do feel macam nak cakap regret, sometimes regret, tapi not full regret.
Okay.
You know? It's just that the pressure is real, and sometimes I just wish that my weight on my shoulders is much lighter. You just wish it like that. But deep inside you know that you cannot stop.
Right.
And it's not easy to just quit like that kan.
Betul.
Kita bukannya jual benda tepi jalan buka ini.
Betul.
Just, you
It's
know.
not fly by night kind.
It's not fly by night. We have built it over the years.
Betul.
And the most challenging part of being an entrepreneur lah, at times you just feel lonely.
Oh, okay.
Your problems is different daripada common people.
I can
problem.
relate to that.
Faham. Yeah.
Common people punya problem, relationship problem. You also have relationship problem. You also have common problem. You also have anak-anaknya problem apa-apa.
Yeah.
It's not
Yep.
easy.
And on top of that, you have this businessnya problem that people rely on you, because kalau you tutup your business, your pekerja semua dah tak dapat.
Oh yes.
You know?
Okay. Because you have people
So
under
there's
your
a lot.
payroll.
Yeah. And the lonely part is when you cannot share this issue dengan any people. You know? Because they don't do business, they don't understand.
They tak faham.
So kita tak nak luahkan dengan siapa So kalau kita ada macam another business friend ke apa, kalau berbual duduk dia menemti ke apa, dia pun buat business, aku lah aku macam ni. So itu yang kita dapat macam
kadang-kadang.
share.
Betul.
And lepas tu okay, lega sikit dah.
I see.
So-
Macam betul nak kena berbual dengan orang yang align with you, right?
Yes, yeah. Dia pun faham.
Betul. I understand that.
So,
I see.
yeah,
but what kept you going then? Because I mean I
Just
totally
cannot stop
understand. Just cannot stop.
Just cannot stop
You just put it inside yourself. Okay. So when you feel this way je.
My wife is je.
Uh-huh.
She knows that I'm not a quitter. I just don't know how to quit. You know. Maybe.
One thing good, he is very positive. I always tell him he's my energizer. Nanti kalau dia tak ada kat rumah, sometimes you know like I'm pula a bit negative person, so he's very positive. So bila dia tak ada, nanti you know I feel some form of
Macam feeling down gitu
feeling down ke apa. Bila dia balik, I belum cakap dengan dia, the energy just will
Masya Allah.
go to me, you know. Then I'll be more positive. And then when I talk to him, he doesn't believe in being self-pitying yourself, you know.
Oh my God.
Dia tak ada. To him, it's just move forward. This thing happen, move forward. Look for solutions,
Right.
rather than you pitying yourself, or whining or whatever.
I think it's a man's thing, you know, because my husband does that. So, bila tu, tapi my husband lah, bila I datang balik, I complain kat dia gini kan. I expected some sympathy lah, perempuan kan. Macam I cakap dengan dia dulu tau, I kerja kat airport. Diorang kata I tak pandai masak, dia apa. Dia cakap, tapi you memang tak pandai. As it is. No, I was like, I was expecting pujuk lah sikit.
Tak ada
pujuk. But dia pembakar semangat. Betul dia cakap. So you're very lucky to get him, just like my husband also. Dia pembakar semangat Nanti kalau I feel very down ke apa, dia yang cakap, why you care about what people say?
Yeah, sama.
Why you care about what people say? Just pick up the pieces and go.
Yeah.
And that was how also I started my baking school. I kena retrench. Then my husband cakap, kenapa you nak just sit around just like that? Go open a school and all something like that. So I can totally relate to what you're saying. And kita when we're in the business kan, there are days yang kita balik very late penyesalan tu bukanlah kata penyesalan, tapi bila you tengok anak-anak macam aku ni tak spend time dengan dia orang, terasa terasa.
Mungkin mesti ada rasa yang serba salah tu kan. Macam am I doing enough, spending enough time with them.
So I make sure macam it's good that my wife insists. Every year we have to go for holiday. It's good that she insisted that, so that when it forces me, you know, kalau tidak kita macam when we are a workaholic kan. You tak ingat lain
betul.
Tak pergi holiday pun tak apa So when nasibnya my wife insisted, okay never mind, we go. So bila kita pergi holiday tu, then I make sure daripada kecil I spend time dengan my daughter. Really I layan dia. Because budak-budak kan dia suka main-main tempat luar kan. So my wife panas dia memang tak ada kan. So bila holiday je kita apa, then I will layan dengan my daughter tempat tepi laut, tempat so I make sure jaga macam tu lah.
Macam best gitu lah.
Yeah.
Any of your children takes over your kirakan passion or business?
It's still early to say, but my first daughter is working with us now. So dia always on TikTok live tiap-tiap hari, right?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And mula-mula yalah, budak-budak ni bila dia muda-muda, dia akan cakap macam I'm not interested to take over.
Betul lah.
Dia belum mana dia boleh dapat direction lagi kan. So kita kasih cuba-cuba dulu lah.
Betul, I understand.
Tu dia, makanan dia sedap sangat sampai habis.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, the food is so good as usual. Masya Allah, Alhamdulillah.
I love the rendang tadi.
Ya, rendang dia kan lembut lah tu.
And it's tak tahu macam nak cakap, macam dia punya taste tu really authentic with the rempah and all that.
You know that is Minang punya kira-kira makanan Betul. If only they have one near my place. Okay, back to our guest.
Itulah. Dah makan-makan kan? Kita tak boleh lupakan nama Osman yang kat sini kan?
Jangan rasa pun slow je
Semua dah makan dah. Kita perlu yang produk sini.
Exactly, Abang Osman ni cikgu, he's I really hold him in high regards. Sebab because of him and his believe in marketing and sponsorship. He was one of those first few who believe in the podcast scene.
Oh.
Yeah, so bila macam the Malay community, macam bila nak start podcast and all that, dulu we have this I think they are quite well known lah. I can mention them here. The OLG guys, the Okay Let's Go.
Okay, yeah.
So they were the first people to start a podcast and to start monetizing it. And Abang Osman believed in them and
Masya Allah.
sponsored them for a number of
The 4 years lah.
The 4 years
Yeah.
Wow.
Not only by the number of years, but in 1 month pun macam different products on different days.
Yeah.
So
Masya Allah.
that's quite a huge expense.
Thank you for that. Because
For marketing.
I think kan, kalau orang kita sendiri tak bantu kita, or rather our local Singaporeans do not support, how are these people ever going to,
Betul.
Because it's something new in the market at that time. Podcast
Betul.
mana ada orang buat sangat kan?
Yes.
Yes.
And then
So-
even if people buat, I think people didn't really know how to monetize
go
it
about
in that
kan?
sense. Yeah. But he gave a lot of hope to podcasters and the blooming ones, macam okay, there's this way to monetize it. Yeah, jadi I really hold him.
It's a true businessman lah.
Betul,
So
yeah.
nanti Cik Osman ajar kita jugalah. Okay, macam mana ni kan?
Because you truly believe, right? In every business, the most important aspect is marketing. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. Advertising and marketing you cannot ignore kalau kita buat business lah. So advertising comes in many form lah kan. Back to the podcasting scene, we advertise kitanya business dulu through radio. So kita dah biasa dengan audio format.
Right.
So how strong is audio format? So before the podcasting scene in Singapore started to bloom juga kan. So we were also trying to learn about what is podcast. And this was in 2018, right? And kita dah mula ada kita punya media team di Malaysia. We had a 5-man team. So we were doing with videos, and because social media is very important. So during that time was really picking up, business really picking up. But everyone tengah belajar macam mana nak betul-betul gunakan social media untuk advertising, untuk corporate punya communication lah. Basically it's corporate communication plus dia punya advertising sekali kan. And we were learning while we also advertise and spend money on the we call it advertising money lah kan. Advertising spend, kita pun internally belajar juga macam mana kita nak buat kita punya own content. Because kita bukan media punya
Correct, betul.
background kan. But we understand pretty early that media is very important tepat in business. And bila kita dah nak cuba belajar how to do podcasting, kita tak tahu equipment macam mana nak gunakan. Mic ni ada 2 macam, kita pun tak tahu dulu kan. And then bila dapat tahu that the Okay Let's Go guys, because they were from radio, diorang start podcast. Our manager lah Linda cakap, so I terus what is the podcast name? Okay Let's Go. So I dengar malam tu, besok je cakap Linda, call Razi, I want to buy the airtime. Because kita dah faham the audio punya format, right? So and then and we work with them, pernah dulu tempat radio juga. So we understand how these people can steer it, right? Dia masih very new, and there's also risk.
Yes.
In business there's always risk, right?
Right.
But kita dah faham where is that risk, and then the audio form, the strength of audio format, and we go with Okay Let's Go, and diorang pun experimented with pushing the envelope to really the limit.
Right.
So in terms of brand, in terms of collaboration dengan partners kan, advertising, there's also risk who you work with, dan your brand alignment macam mana, right? So insyaAllah, alhamdulillah kita dah ada experience, that's why kita go with them. And as they grow, then realize that we are going somewhere. And then I saw that Okay Let's Go, because it's new, dia tarik banyak peminat-peminat, and they become like a focal point of the Malay Muslim in Singapore, the listeners, especially the young ones. And okay, in terms of business, bila business punya angle yang kita tengok kan, this is good because I'm getting orang dengar, and people, we are introduced to the young punya population, the newer market kan. Business is good. And another angle also, we saw OLGO macam dia jadi macam satu kind of beacon of hope. That's what at least we saw, right? So I thought this is good. So
Yep.
when a lot of the listeners, especially the young people, right, the demographics, maybe the mid to low punya demographics, find them macam like a beacon of hope. So I thought that is good, and then putting the positivity into that, so that indirectly kita dapat juga bantu the positivity in the community.
Yes.
Wow.
So we spend that money. Even sometimes when we spend also, the ROI mula-mula pun was not so good.
Not so good lah.
When you go with the advertising punya ni kan, you must have a mid-term to long-term punya plan.
Yes, correct.
Kalau ad hoc is going to be very difficult and sometimes susah dia nak naik.
Right.
So then we decided, okay lah, we have to be with OK Lazo sampai it's very stable, because it will be a win-win thing. You know, in business we always look
Yes,
at the
correct,
win-win thing.
Right.
So that's where I personally get involved juga in the podcasting punya scene. And then as we go along with OK Let's Go, there are smaller punya podcast punya group approach me and then approach to work with us. Okay, let's see how we can work together. You know, kalau tak in collaboration, tidak in sponsorship pun, we give a certain kind of macam positive input.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I did my own podcast juga, because we do our own podcast. Kita nyebab 50 sen, we're still doing it now untuk orang tua, you know. So it's kind of a good thing juga, so that we understand further the industry. And I believe that industry now is tengah berkembang. So it is evolving. We can see the evolution in the industry, right? The podcasting industry.
Yep.
So it is a healthy thing. So more competition, and more competition means also everyone will work towards improving. And kalau ada lebih banyak podcast, then the smaller businesses will have avenue untuk advertise for certain demographics.
Betul.
Because advertising is not just about macam the very big mass saja. You're very macam specific in one kind of demographics. Then there are smaller podcasts yang can serve that demographics. Then you can really macam zoom in into that demographics for my product, more specifics. So jadi in terms of advertising spend kan,
Right.
you punya spending advertising dollar dia lagi berbaloi daripada maybe a shotgun approach.
Right.
And then
Betul.
it's very expensive, but you dapat sedikit.
Sikit-sikit aja. You cannot see dia punya returns kan?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the way I look at it, then the podcasting punya scene evolution is healthy, is very good. So let more people come in, you know. I mean, we were advertisers juga
Yeah.
in podcastan, and we also do our own
That's how we
podcast.
met.
That's how you all met.
Yes, betul.
You must have given her a lot of hope, because when she wanted to do this kan, then I was thinking, ada ke orang nak dengar, because I belong to the older generation. Kita mana dengar podcast ni semua kan. So bila I cakap, ya ke Hidayah, you want to do this? She says yes. I think you have a great influence over her in that sense. Like dia rasa macam there are people out there who believe in such podcast, and kita punya mission also is to also create awareness for some of the businesses.
Betul.
Macam some businesses, diorang kalau nak approach advertisers, diorang tak ada budget lah memang, you know. And that speaking of kirakan business with a heart, I realised that Cik Osman kita ni has a huge compassionate heart also, because
Yes,
I
definitely.
read somewhere that he also assisted my learning hub
MIJ.
Right,
My
inspiring
Inspiring
journey,
Journey.
MIJ kanak-kanak istimewa
Yeah.
kanak-kanak istimewa. And this is something kan, jujur saya cakap kan, kalau kita buat business, kita must always think of ways to give back. Itulah keberkatan dia.
Betul,
Dan
yes.
ada barakah dekat situ. And
True.
yeah. So what would you advise kalau orang-orang yang berniaga sikit-sikit dia nak give up, sikit-sikit dia nak give up? Apa kalau misal kata Cik Osman punya kata-kata perangsang lah.
Okay, kalau nak cakap kata-kata perangsang ni kan, selalu I will talk about the reality first lah. And the reality can be hard lah.
Yes.
First and foremost, kalau nak fikir nak masuk into business, right? To me, you must understand that business is tough, right? There's no glamour in business.
Betul.
You can try to glamorize the business, probably helps in the marketing, but in reality, bila kita run business, there's no glamour in running the business. It is a very tough path. So ni bukan nak dishearten, tetapi you must, bila you nak mula, give your whole heart lah. Jangan takut fail, because failure, everybody knows failure is part of the learning process and all that kan. Senang cakap, But bila kita jalan tu, bila kita feel, wah, dia punya mental punya pressure tu really lah macam, right? So I think number one, kalau kita betul-betul nak buat business, you must really be tunnel vision lah. I think it helps to have a tunnel vision. That's why aku nak buat, okay, buat aja. Jadi macam orang cakap istilahnya sondol lah. Depan kalau ada tembok besar pun, cari jalan macam mana nak pecahkan tembok tu, ataupun climb the tembok tu, ataupun kalau tepi boleh jalan tepi ke tidak. So you always find ways. You don't see macam depan ada barrier means okay, aku dah tak boleh jalan lagi, ada cik.
Betul. What about modal? Do they need to have a lot of modal?
I think now, especially now, you don't have to have very modal yang besar.
Okay.
Okay. Just to quote lah, last weekend my wife and I, kita pergi KL. And then my wife sukalah mencari-cari makanan. Jom kita pergi tempat ni. Okay. Kita pergilah tempat Ampang. So, walaupun di KL, tapi the story I find it very inspiring. Sebab apa?
Okay.
Tempat makan, masak dia memang sedap lah.
Okay.
And we enjoy the food.
Okay.
Kita dapatlah berbual dengan dia owner kan. Dia wife, dia the chief cook, chef. Husband dia tolong juga. Dan kita temu bual. Dan dia cakap, bang, kita ni pun baru 2 tahun lepas PKP ke, during PKP dia baru start berniaga kecil-kecil kat situ.
I see.
And then dah jadi viral pasal orang datang, orang yang viralkan influencer yang masuk kan. And dia cakap, ini pun kita dulu mula meniaga bang, pakai small card je. Dia tunjukkan card yang dia buat lempeng. Dia buat lempeng. Modal kita RM500 je bang.
Oh ya.
RM500. So I think this is a very good example where you memang nak start business mesti ada modal. Tetapi modal tu not necessary in terms of money.
Kan?
Okay, understand.
Modal can be in terms of knowledge dengan time. That's the most important one. Knowledge dengan time. Knowledge taklah bermakna you have to be a university graduate. No. You have knowledge in cooking, that's knowledge.
Okay. Right.
How can your cooking be you buat sesuatu from nothing? You entrepreneurs kan? You create something out of nothing to sell, to make profit, and then you roll that money to become, and then it's about scaling up. So generally it's like that.
Right.
So I think apa yang penting is the spirit of enterprising ataupun okay, we're not talking about entrepreneurship yet. It is a spirit of enterprising. Kalau kita, I believe very strongly, kalau kita masih kerja dengan organisation, right, it doesn't mean that kita employee je kita tak boleh enterprising tau. It's very wrong. We now as employer, kita tengok mana promising, what do we mean by promising punya employees lah.
Correct, betul.
Those yang bila diorang kerja, diorang yang mindset is really like enterprising, which means number one, the mindset of solving problems first. Number one.
Okay.
Because you kerja dengan orang, you want to solve a problem ataupun do something, and that is solving problem, right?
Ada orang macam serahkan je.
Ada orang macam gitu-gitu cannot. So it's good for you to start with the enterprising mindset where you solve problem first, and then you can see this one can make money. This one can make money.
Okay.
So I think it's very important to have that spirit first.
Yep.
Then probably when you jump into the realm of business kan, it could be easier for you to carry on.
Right.
Kalau orang tak ada that kind of mindset, jump saja. Apa nak buat Apa nak buat and then you just try ikut-ikut orang, you know.
Itu selalu banyak kan kalau ikut trend. Oh, you go viral, let's do like that.
Correct. Yeah.
So to me it's like that. You must have the enterprising punya mindset dulu. And you're never satisfied with whatever you have done. You're never satisfied.
Right.
Yes.
Nice, very
kalau
nice.
kita dah senantiasa satisfied kan, kita tak boleh grow lah.
Cannot
Betul.
grow.
Kita tak boleh grow. Macam you know, people will say that macam okay lah, aku dah cukup, dah buat ni cukup.
Which is also a quote that I live by, because I like to watch the Kung Fu Panda movie.
Yeah, my
So
favorite.
dia ada this small mouse tu yang dia punya Shifu kan. Yeah, he said something that I hold until now. He said something
what's
like,
that?
if you always do what you can do, you'll never be better than who you are. Wow. So when I heard that really caught me. Like, wow, that's really true. Macam if you're very comfortable in your own zone and you don't want to be out of the comfort zone, or you don't want to try something new, then it's really hard to be better and better and better lah. Yeah, so semangat kecekalan tu nak kena ada lah. I feel whenever you're self-employed, and
kita kena go with the times.
Yeah.
For example, like right now, I'm forced to learn TikTok. I'm forced to learn TikTok. You know, dulu masa TikTok baru keluar kan, I was approached to to do some content for them, but my husband that time TikTok joget-joget. So dia cakap,
Yeah.
tak ada, you jangan ambil TikTok ni, I tak nak you joget-joget.
Yeah, that was a perception when initial initial phases.
So I feel that kalau siapa pun nak berniaga, kita harus ada kecekalan hati. Kita kena jujur
Yeah.
Kita kena jujur, jangan ambil produk yang you rasa ni cepat jual, tapi tanpa tahu menahu apa tentang produk dia.
Betul.
And also kita nak kena ada sikap terbuka untuk belajar benda baru. Betul tak Atau pertingkatkan diri. Untuk pertingkatkan diri.
Oh,
I believe in this thing. I always tell, kalau orang nak minta advice, I always say, and I always quote, only you can push yourself.
Betul.
That's number one.
Right. Yeah, that's
Let's say
true.
you wait for people to push yourself, who's gonna push you?
Ya, betul.
People don't care about you.
Betul,
Yeah.
betul.
Only you have to push yourself.
You are your own
Kita jaga
motivator.
kita. There's a line kan, kita jaga kita.
Betul, kita jaga kita.
So if you ask my wife, she will label me ADHD because I tak boleh duduk diam.
Sebab you tak boleh duduk.
But Alhamdulillah, because you tak boleh duduk diam, we get good products also from your company.
Itulah,
And
that's right.
we also look forward to what other new things you boleh kirakan contribute to the society in that sense. Bukan saja in the sense of dari segi perniagaan, dari segi your CSI work and things like that. And I noticed he likes to travel
Yes. Even in Malaysia, I think now you're collaborating with travel and doing a travel series kan?
Yeah. Also again because of social media lah. Again because macam tadi Chef Siti cakap kan, kita mesti be in keep up with the times and all that, right?
Yes.
So I've been studying social media space for the last 5 years. It's a very difficult space to master.
Yes.
Because the evolution terlampau laju sangat.
Sangat.
And we have identified
Dia tanda boleh dengar kat sini.
so we have identified di Malaysia YouTube is very big. And from my experience, saya pergi dengan Rai TV last year to Iceland. Mula-mula untuk advertise
Iceland.
kita punya produk kan from Malaysia kan. Then my trip with them taught me so many things, and they teach me a lot of things juga. Thank you. And that's why kita choose to let's have our own YouTube channel and buat a culture travelog for Malaysia punya negara dulu. Sebab that is to create kita punya market for the Malaysia punya market lah, right? The followers dulu.
Right.
So and it's not just because I like to travel. So it's like there's an opportunity and you can use this opportunity to really help you in the business. So we try to align everything lah.
Right.
Hit and miss. We tried so many things in MA. So now we got it. Kita punya YouTube channel My Style, and kita dapat menjelajah di semenanjung Malaysia dulu. Jadi kita dapatkan followers and viewers daripada YouTube. So that's the different strategy in social media yang kita nak buat kan. So macam dulu kita buat business is very different daripada sekarang. Macam social media sekarang, kalau if you let's say you really want to succeed kan, before you even do the business or jual barang kan, you gain your popularity dengan attention first.
Right.
So which means you carve your market niche dulu, and then baru you jual.
Right.
So there are over the last 3 years there are so many examples
Right.
di Malaysia baik di Singapura baik where this model works. Dia makan macam dulu kita buat dulu, lepas tu kita cari market and then kita advertise orang tahu kan. So now is about attention.
Yes.
Yeah,
Betul.
that's right.
So then kita yang peniaga-peniaga mapan ni kan. Mapan ni kan.
Experience tu.
Macam Chef Z cakap lah, kita mesti go with the times. So kalau kita tak ikut cara yang baru ni, kita akan jadi dinosaur lah.
Betul, ketinggalan. Ini
habis.
produk kita cuma jual, mana ada orang jual just retail shop, no?
Yes.
Everybody just go online. And speaking about online, how can they get your products then?
Yes.
Oh, you can go to www.mylustre.com. So dari kita website. And pun boleh call 6275-4123. Kita ada call center. Call center kita di KL.
Oh, di
And
KL,
kita punya
okay.
customer service akan take your order and layan and make sure boleh terangkan insyaAllah kita punya produk, macam mana kita punya produk boleh bantu you all semua. InsyaAllah.
Wow,
Masya Allah,
nice.
Masya Allah.
Masya Allah.
We wish you all the best.
Betul.
This has been a very insightful kirakan session.
Yes, exactly.
Kirakan Cik Osman, without you knowing it, you rekindle my entrepreneurship lah.
Semangat untuk
Semangat
to keep going.
Because you know why? Because lately macam gila kita ada berumur, I cakap ada ke lagi orang nak belajar, that kind of thing, you know. But yeah, I still get people in the street say, Chef Siti boleh buka kelas lagi, boleh buka kelas lagi, you know. So yeah, you hidupkan semangat kita balik.
InsyaAllah.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Zuraida. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you for spending your time here.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
It's a lovely session and kepada semua yang baru-baru jinak-jinak nak berniaga,
Yeah.
may this be a beacon of hope.
Betul.
So beliau dah dalam berkecimpung ni dah lebih dari 19 tahun 19 years and still going strong, guys.
Betul.
So yes, so the key word here is don't give up.
Betul.
Okay, so thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
and,
you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So insyaAllah kita akan jumpa lagi. And again, this episode is brought to you by Katira Awesome. So you can check them out on IG under Katira Awesome or give them a WhatsApp at